As recently as 1970, this neighborhood had the highest rate of people who walked to work in the state of Ohio, but the closure of major employers, a manufacturing base like Eveready Battery and Westinghouse, put the neighborhood into tailspin.
Problem was industry leaving the town, going internationally or going other places, and the cities all over were concerned about how to keep jobs in the cities.
During the 1970s, it was a difficult time. People were starting to accumulate some wealth, the baby boomers were having families, people started to leave our neighborhood, and then when busing occurred in the late 70s, you had a lot of white flight. And not only white flight, but the minority community in this neighborhood, the people who had wealth, the middle income, Hispanics and African Americans, they left too.
And by 1990, things had gotten really bad. The poverty rate was 40%. The sales price of a single-family home was only $16,000.
Those challenges seemed overwhelming for groups of people who transitioned out of the community. But there's always been a core group of people who have had faith and a passion for the community.
At one time, Detroit Avenue, the heart of our commercial district, was lined with vacant storefronts and boarded up storefronts. Detroit Shoreway really helped to fuel the boom on Detroit Avenue by buying many of these problem buildings, bringing millions of dollars in renovation to Detroit Avenue, and recruiting new businesses to the neighborhood.
Since the Gordon Square Arcade, when it was owned by developers who let it literally fall apart, and this tiny community organization, Detroit Shoreway, in 1978 deciding, well, let's try to buy that building. And they did.
You know, if it wasn't for a bold move by Father Marino Frascati, who went to his religious order and said, can I borrow $125,000 to save the Gordon Square Arcade? The city was going to demolish it. And it was because of his love for this neighborhood that made that possible.
There's been a member of the Creation family on our board since our founding, and our faith-based partners have been with us since the beginning and are with us still today. From Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church, St. Coleman, St. Luke's Episcopal. The Zone family has been leaders of our neighborhood for 4 generations. Michael Zone was the councilman from 1960 to 1974. When Michael passed away, his wife Mary took over as our city council representative, and Matt carries on the legacy of his parents today in serving our neighborhood.
We had Cleveland Public Theater here, and Near West Theater was getting ready to move into our neighborhood and build a new theater, and we had the Capitol Theater. It was closed down, it was run down. We didn't know how we were going to renovate it, but we knew that if we could, based upon those 3 anchor institutions, that we could reinvigorate this commercial district.
I wish I could transplant what is happening in Gordon Square all around the country, because not only are they engaging their own artists and their own artistic ethos, but they are transforming a neighborhood, a community. And that kind of model is what we want to highlight and showcase and bring all across the country to every community that we can.
And just to see the neighborhood come back to life little by little, it's an amazing thing for me to be able to tell my children, this is what it used to be like, and this is what it is now.
It's a great combination of a good arts project with economic development. We got $6 million, believe it or not, from the city of Cleveland to do the streetscape, which is pretty impressive.
Since 2006, there have been 35 new businesses on Detroit Avenue as a part of this renaissance in the Gordon Square Arts District. The Lorraine Avenue Antiques District is not only a destination nationally, but people come from all over the world to shop at the unique concentration of antique dealers on Lorraine, including the Bijou, Sweet Lorraine, and Lorraine Furniture Gallery.
And frankly, they've become the vanguard for community development, creating, innovating, really making a great place for people to live, work, play.
But really working with the residents to plan for the neighborhood, and that's something they've done a great job of, organizing the community in the different areas, creating a vision that comes from the community up, and then working that plan.
It's not done from a top down, it's done by engaging the community, and that's what I see as the greatest benefit.
Since our founding 40 years ago, residents have been the foundation of our organization, our network of block clubs, our community leaders. Our governance model is unique in that members are required to be from the neighborhood. Neighborhood residents, businesses, and institutions, churches and social service agencies must come from our neighborhood.
We're going to celebrate 40 years They've been there a long time, and they're the one really helped me to get my building together and to do a lot of work here.
The diversity that we have now may be in some ways ethnic diversity, but it's income diversity, it's racial diversity, it's cultural diversity, all which rather than hinders the development lends to the strength of the neighborhood.
We really have a cultural haven where, within these 2 blocks, I can probably name 5, 6 nationalities.
I'm really proud of the fact that as part of our Renaissance, we provided housing for people of all income levels. The stability of having only 4 executive directors in 40 years, 4 board presidents, and 6 city council representatives. This is a very stable organization, and that's been a big factor in our success. Partnerships with EcoCity Cleveland led to the foundation of the Cleveland Eco Village in 1998. Everybody's talking about green building today, but 15 years ago they weren't. And the Cleveland Eco Village helped to make sustainability an important part of Cleveland's Renaissance.
There are all sorts of young professionals, people newly to Cleveland, that are looking at Battery Park, that are looking at some of the lakefront residential options, that are looking at some of the rehabs and other parts of the Detroit Shoreway neighborhood and saying, this is a place where I want to live. This is a place that has community.
I can see the future, this place gonna be blooming more, much better than they are today.
I hope that it stays on their track, that there's a lot of things available for the small businesses and young people to come. I know on my street just this year, 4th of July, going down the street, there were 6 or 7 houses that had a lot of young people out having barbecues, and I haven't seen that in 25 years.
It's been really a steady focus and clear about how to create a mixed income neighborhood that brings people from all the different constituencies to the neighborhood. And Detroit Shoreway has maintained their vision. They knew what they wanted to do with the Gordon Square Arts District, the Eco Village, and they've maintained that over the past 20+ years to really make it a place where people want to come live, work, and play.